because at that time I was really looking to expand my clairvoyance, and I was like really like deepening like my connection to earth and like to the animals and like to myself. And then I remember reading the PDF and just being like, oh, okay, yeah, like I really, really do want to deepen into this. And, I've already been on this journey of really connecting more with my mission and like working on myself so that I can get myself to a point where like I can actually own it and embrace it and embody it and be like, okay, like this really wants to come through me. And like I really do feel like I'm in a position where I want to allow it to express and not just continue to like keep everything like hidden and contained. Is that my mission has often felt like a burden, because it just feels like it's so big. And we just had the Akashic Records reading too, and it's like, well, actually, you have been doing this for like hundreds, like at this point, it was like 1,400 years, and it's something you're gonna continue doing. And I was like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. Like why it feels so big and why like I kind of already knew that it was something that I wasn't like necessarily gonna like finish in this life. And it's not necessarily about finishing either, but really about just like letting it happen and no longer um like fighting it, right? Because that's kind of where I've been in the last few years where I'm just like, I don't want to do it. It feels like too much. It's like too big of a responsibility. I don't know if I can lead people. I don't know if I can do this. Like, I don't really know if I have what it takes. Um, and now it's more like, okay, it's not this thing that I like need to carry and like this thing that I need to force, but more something that just wants to be expressed. And that like I finally feel like, okay, I am at a place where I want to let it come through and I want it to be expressed through me. And it doesn't feel like so heavy and so much like a burden. It's like an actual like desire in my heart that I'm just like, how can I not do this? I don't really know how I'm gonna do this, but it just wants to, and like I want it to come through too. So right now I'm at a place where I'm leaving my job. I am moving countries, and I'm like really going all in on my mission, and I don't really like know how it's gonna work out. I just kind of like know. And if you would have asked me a year ago, like, oh, next year you're gonna be like leaving your job and moving, oh, and then also starting a relationship, I'd be like, no, like there's no way I cannot do that right now. Like I cannot even um hold that like in my realm of possibilities. It's just like that's just a no. Um, but I have to say, like more on the day-to-day stuff, I have noticed that it's a lot easier for me to connect with myself. And mind you, this is considering that with all these changes, like there are days where I'm feeling very anxious, right? Which is also the beautiful thing because it's not just like, oh my God, my life is perfect. Like I don't struggle, I don't have moments of doubt. It's like, okay, I have moments of doubt and I can bring myself back. Like I also have fear and I can reground myself and like reconnect and really tune in. And it's not like something that is impossible to do or something that's super out of reach or that I need to do like a 20-step process to like come back into my higher self. Is like, okay, let me just sit down, close my eyes, and then boom. Like I find myself underneath like all the chaos and like all the like distorted thoughts, and I'm like, okay, I can see them, but I can also see me. um I have to say that's like one of the biggest things for me because that's like literally like the thing that is keeping me saying that it's just like, okay, I know I don't need to go look somewhere else, it's just like all here already. um I have also noticed that I can I can ask for what I want more clearly, and I can like actually speak my mind without needing to be like, I'm gonna hurt somebody's feelings, so I'm not gonna say that. It's just honestly a lot of times I used to really overthink like what I was gonna say, and it really was exhausting to think like I'm gonna say it this way or I'm gonna say it that way or like this is how I'm gonna present it. Um, and now it's just like, no, I don't want that. Or like, oh no, yeah, that's what I want. And sometimes I'm just like, okay, who is she? Who is she? Because yeah, it's so different from a year ago. Um, and also I have been I have been um like tuning into and exploring my gifts, which has been really fun because it's not something that's just like here's a guide and like a manual of like all the things like you've learned in other lifetimes and just here it's like okay, like I have the connection, I have the tools, like I have the trust in myself, so like let me see what comes up and letting it come up and not like instantly doubting and being like, oh no, that couldn't be it, because that was where I was at too. A lot of times it is just like, no, I'm making that up, like that just can't be it. So yeah, lots of changes in a year. I used to think that like my mission was something I needed to earn or like work for or like need to struggle more for. Hence why like it also felt like a burden because like like I need to do more. Like I haven't done enough. I need to do this. I need to do that. But it's like it's become something that is innate and it's just like okay, am I willing to accept that for myself? And of course I do. So and it's really hard to put it into words, right? To because it's not just like a mental thing, it's like a feeling. And it's just like like a switch flipping from like, oh, like I really need to struggle for this, or like I don't really know, or like I need to work, but it's just like no, like I know. I know and like I feel this in my body. So I don't really need anybody else to tell me like this is what it is or like somebody else to prove it for me. It's just like I just know. I feel like um I'm not necessarily seeking like to be deemed worthy of the love um of like the divine love or of someone to say like yeah, you know, you're it, which is nice, but then the funny part is that when you're like seeking these things you don't ever get them and then you end up feeling um more like I really need this, and then you're like, you know, I actually don't need this, and people actually start giving you the validation, but at that point it's not really um not that it's not important, but it's kind of like you're like, yeah, I know. Like, yeah, of course, like of course I'm a creator, of course. I'm connected to the divine, of course. I'm like connected to the universe and to like Mother Earth and to like all the things. And like, it's just like, yeah, it's undeniable. In a way, it makes life easier because I know that I don't really like need to go and look for answers in other people because like the thing I used to do is like I would always ask people for their opinion. Especially like the people I really care about that it's like, hey, like I'm really thinking about doing this, like what do you think? Or I would just kind of um like sometimes I wouldn't necessarily ask people directly. I would just kind of like spark up a conversation like, hey, what do you think about this thing? And kind of gauge their opinion and like I would like look at everybody online and see what they're doing and try to like devise like a plan or something or like, you know, like analyze the data per se. And now it's like I don't need to do that. Because honestly, doing all of that is very, very tiring and very draining. And it still leaves you, or it still has left me like feeling really confused and and doubtful. And now it's more of like, okay, I know I'm divine. I am the divine and I have a connection to the divine. So it's like if I really do want an answer, excuse me, if I really do want guidance, like all I need to do is go within. Are there moments that I forget? Of course, I'm human. But then I like remember and it's just like, okay, like I really don't need to be doing all this like extra work of like trying to source answers or guidance from somewhere else. Like all I really need to do is like tune back in with me and also with tuning back in with me, it's not something that's necessarily just out in the ethers that's like super foreign, but also how we are talking about earlier about how it being embodied, that it's just like it's a feeling in your body that you know. And like even if people tell you otherwise, it's like you know if it's a yes for you or if it's a no or if that feels good to you or if it doesn't. And there's really no other better way to go about your life than that way, right? Because things are bound to happen, plans are bound to change, your desires are bound to change, you're bound to want like different things. And there's no better way than knowing that you're the ultimate compass to your life and like you ultimately hold all the answers. My favorite one, and I keep coming back to this one, is really realizing that I'm not separate from from the divine. Um, I come from a Catholic family, and like with religion, it's always been like you need to earn your place. Like you need to earn salvation. You like need to earn the love. Um, and that carries within it this feeling of inadequacy and like there's something wrong with me. Like no matter what I do, like I need to keep redeeming myself. Um, and then with that, like, oh, like I actually don't need to like prove myself. I actually don't really like need to go and look for it. It's already there. It's just a matter of me accepting it. And it was like, oh, like, okay, you know, I mean, I think from the Sovereign Priestess, and that one, the shift that happened for me was like that I'm not broken and I don't need to be fixed. But then with this, it was a deepening into that of like, no, actually, I really don't need to be seeking out um, love from the divine because like I am the divine and like the divine's love is always there. It's just a matter if I accept it or not. And it's just this different level of feeling held and supported. Yeah, it's another one of those things. It's hard to put into words 'cause it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling of like an eternal loving embrace that it's like no matter what happens, it's not like it's going to be taken away from you or that you're just, your actions are like being watched to be like, oh, was she good or was she bad? Like, oh, okay, she was bad. She can't have this anymore. Yeah, and also the the energy from which you take action is so different. And I even dare to say
Yes.
like the actions you take is so different, right? Because then you're not acting from like that, oh, I need to be good or I need to act or behave in a certain way so that I don't end up being punished. It's like, no, this is what I desire and like I trust that it is good because it is coming from my heart. So this is what I'm gonna do. Well, the biggest thing being that it it is not a burden and it is not meant to be a burden. And if it does feel like a burden, it's because, you're looking at it wrong. Which I say that because I was looking at it all wrong. Um, it's more of of an expression and just like this beautiful dance, right? That it's like, oh, okay, like it wants to go here and I also want to go here and like let's do this and flow together. And then in addition to that, um it's something that is a lot bigger than me. And I don't say this in a way that is like, oh, like it's so much work, but it's just like I actually do want to break like chains and cycles and stuff for like certain like generations. I mean, my focus for my mission is working with daughter of immigrants and like first generation women, and like there's so much that comes with just being a like a woman of color, and realizing that these are like things that like I have already been doing, and it's time for me to share, and share it not from a place of like I have to, but it share it from a place because like I want to do this. This is needed, and like really truly I they're praying for it. And it's like, who am I to just be the one that says like, no, you don't get to have this, or like I don't want to share, because I actually do want to share it. Also realizing like what an honor it is to get to choose this every day, because I for one
Yeah.
know that I have chosen to do things that I really don't want to do. And like I
Yeah.
have kept choosing them, like I chose them over and over again because I felt like I had to, because I felt like there was no other way. But it's like, wow, like I actually get to choose something every day that I actually care about, and that actually like lights me up and gives me energy and fuels me. You know I love you, Ashley. I have been have been working with you for like what is it now, like 4 or 5 years. Um and I love working with you because I feel like you actually care. I have worked with mentors who, promise this transformation, but then, like a lot of shit happens, like moving through these journeys. And some mentors don't really care. They're just kind of like, okay, well, you're responsible for your healing, which is true, right? I'm not saying that's not true, but I think it really makes a difference when you're mentoring with someone who like actually cares. And it's not just something that they say, but something they show. Like you check on me, and it's just like, hey, there's something you're struggling with. Like, let's talk about it. And I think that alone is huge. I mean, we already live in a world where we are battling shit like every day. And for the most part, we have to like figure things out on our own, or like just move through our struggles in silence. And like really having someone that like actually takes a minute out of their day to send a message and be like, hey, just checking in on you. Like, how are you doing? For me, that's huge. And besides that, of course, you're very knowledgeable. You're embodied in your work. It's not like you're saying, hey, I'm going to take you on this journey, and you actually haven't done it. Having worked with you for the last 4 years, I'm going to say, like I've seen your transformation from where you've gone to like being in your mission, but like also holding back, like still like doubting and operating from, I guess, from some sense of like disempowerment to like now being like, no, like I'm in my power, like I'm in my truth. And yeah, it is activating to work with somebody in that way. It's hard, but I think that if you have this like feeling in your body, and I know because it's like this like undeniable feeling that you can't really make a sense of, and it's calling you forward, like just follow it, because like the overthinking and overanalyzing isn't really gonna get you an answer. It's not really gonna it's not straightforward. And I mean, we live in a world where we're so used to being like, okay, this is where you are, and like this is where you go, and this is like step 1 through 10, and it's not necessarily like that, and it doesn't necessarily make sense, but it doesn't have to. If you feel like you really, really want to join, just do it. You won't regret it. I really like the length of time because I think with this level of transformation, it's not something that can be crammed into like a couple of months. I mean, you could try, but I don't think it would be the same. Like, you really do need to give it time. I liked that we had an off week because it is like deep healing and deep transformation. So it was nice to have like 1 week off. And I also really liked your flexibility to where I was like, hey, actually, I it was kind of a lot. Like, can I have another week? And it's like, okay, yeah, no problem. Um, that was really nice to not feel like it's like the process is forced. I also really liked all the rose codes. I think they're like all beautiful in their own way. One of my favorite experiences was the uh, I don't remember what it's called, but it's manifesting through like divine feminine energetics because it's like nobody really talks about manifesting in that way. So that was my favorite one. I mean, if you're ready for a change, this is it.